Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And now, Andy, we couldn't hear it, but I'm told there's new music.
Yeah, there's some Russian bots that are just being a real pain in the ass with our music. And like every day, I get an email from YouTube that says, "Oh, hey, there's a copyright issue," even though it's like license-free music. That or we paid for the license for this music, so very annoying. Me and Dan got sick of it, and he said, "Let's change the music." Which whatever. It's almost a new year, so it's like new year, new brown bag, whatever, new music. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope your week's going fine. Hopefully, and Patrick says he'll record something first. We talked about that. We talked about like we need someone to a listener to come up with a song. Somebody's got to be musically inclined.
We can
Like I
find
can play
something to
some,
give you.
I can play some instruments, but I'm not like I can't write music. That's a whole different skill. Boy, that's
One
really
of us will
something.
send you a BetSperts sweatshirt. Literally
Yeah,
ours, probably.
you can have, yeah, you can have this one. I have the same sweatshirt. I just took it off and got
Andy, game
a
worn
little warm in
or
here.
show worn? Show
I
worn.
turned the heat way up because it is like 20 below outside. So I just cranked the heat up in the office. Said I'm gonna sweat, and we'll start sweating some bets today. We have a bunch. We're gonna start in the is it the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl? So I'm guessing this is in the Caesars Superdome, but yeah, it is the New Orleans Bowl between the South Alabama
Panthers.
Catamounts, Jaguars, Panthers. They're a cat. I know they're a cat for sure. And the Western Kentucky Hill Toppers, Jaguars. Dan says I knew it was a large cat. There's so many teams named
More
after
like a
large cats.
mid-sized cat.
Catamounts, Catamounts.
Jaguar.
That's Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was a Catamounts, but regardless, not the highest profile bowl game. It's Sun Belt Conference USA, but it's still a midweek bowl game. You still have football to watch on a Wednesday. Um, I haven't broken this down too deep because I don't watch either of these teams during the season, but Western Kentucky's averaging like 35 points a game, while Southern Alabama is a decent defense holding teams under 20 points a game. So I guess you just need this South Alabama's offense. I guess is improved since over the last couple of years. So maybe just what is the total here? Should I just take an over? This is me. I didn't.
I
Oh,
like
it's
it.
gonna be close. 57 and a half's
57
a
and a half.
lot. You know, I'm taking an over anyway.
Overtime over. Let's do it.
No, I mean I just think I think the Hilltoppers just imposed their will, and we have a nice back and forth game. If somebody has a better bet than that, by all means, put it in the chat if you've actually broken this game down. I've been betting a lot of unders, and by betting, I mean I haven't been betting bowl games, but I did a bowl game pick 'em, so I kind of have been picking every game. I'm somehow leading that, despite not really watching many of the games or keeping track of it. So maybe I'm running hot. Maybe I'm running hot, and this is fine. So
You're
I'm
just a
gonna go look
contest
for
guy.
I am a contest guy, so I'm gonna go look for the cheapest 57 and a half I can find, and we'll see what we can do there. So
I'll sell it
I
to
don't
60. What the
think
hell?
this is they took it away from us too, Alex. We had the day games, and then they just yanked it. This is like a 7 p.m. game. So Patrick says I bet the Jags a ton this year. We'll probably do it again later too. Maybe I'll just Jags team total over. Me and Patrick riding together.
I like it. Overs are more fun anyway. And yeah, it's tough. It's Tuesday. There's not really much sports on. I know we talked about there's no tennis. There's got to be college basketball on this afternoon, right?
Are you sure it's Tuesday?
No, it's not Tuesday. It's
Yeah, you're
Wednesday.
stealing my shtick, dude. That's mine. That's what I do. I don't know what day it is. I'm the one. I am
Means
the
it's
one who
Wednesday.
knocks. It is definitely Wednesday. I was gonna say I feel like I got to do the deep dive later tonight. Break down a really weird week. We're gonna spend some time on a few of those markets that have bounced around. But no, betting some college basketball today. I did put together a card. Get a little busy with life yesterday. I had to go shopping all over to find some stuff. But 4 underdogs for your pleasure today, starting in that same Sun Belt conference, but Appalachian State one of the I don't know, keenest teams as far as taking care of the ball. They haven't played the toughest schedule. This is a little bit of a step up here, but I think they can hang with Santa Barbara. This is on a neutral court, by the way, guys. This will be played in. Gosh, I'm checking now. I knew this earlier, but this is like in Arizona or something. I had to check. They continue to do this where they have some of these neutral games early on, but I did make some adjustments for that, which I wasn't doing early in the season. Sometimes I'd miss one or two of those every once in a while. It made me feel kind of stupid. So App State +5 -110, Southeastern Missouri State, the Red Hawks from Cape. Oh man, I can never remember the name of the sound. Cape Verdew. This is a team that's lost a bunch in a row. They're not a terribly good team. I think Missouri Valley or Ohio Valley, one of the valleys. But they're playing all
Missouri.
yeah, I think it's the Missouri Valley Conference. They're playing all the Southern teams in a row now. They have Southern Illinois, Southern Illinois, Indiana, and then Southern Indiana University, Edwardsville, all in a row. So bit of a kind of a murderer's row there of teams from the south of those states. Not a lot to say about them that's great, but they're kind of a hot 3-point shooting team, even against a fairly tough schedule. They have had an above average schedule, as you will, and the Salukis of Carbondale, who I'm betting against, turn the ball over just a ton. They don't do shit on the offensive boards. Basically, they're kind of riding their defense so far this year. We'll see how that goes against Southeastern Missouri team that I don't need them to win again. I just need them to keep it close. Dan says Cape Girardeau. Seems like an awful fancy name for a town in Missouri. No offense to the Show Me State, but why not just a nice name like Columbia or something like that? Boston, not Boston College, Boston University. This is a hockey school,
That's where the
guys. The
smarter kids go.
Terriers. Yeah, it kind of is. Like this is a better school, truthfully, but
Can't
it
get
is a
enough.
hockey.
Probably be you.
It is a hockey school. They're taking on Lowell. Not a great matchup, but it's not like it's an away game, but again, it's across town. Like you just have to go to a different campus in the same town, essentially. So Lowell's not that far away, guys. Another team that, excuse me, takes care of the ball, makes their free throws, has a ton of steals, forces a lot of turnovers, and for the most part is okay enough for me to bet on them in a spot like this to keep it close. And then finally, New Mexico State. Is this the Aggies? I actually have to look this up now. Aggies? Yeah, it is. Las Cruces. Taking on Kent State of the MAC. This is kind of a fun offense. Like, this is a team that I might be looking at in the WAC, which is to say the Western Athletic Conference. I don't know, like, I guess Sam Houston State's kind of the class. Utah Valley's been good too, but New Mexico State is a sneaky team for me to maybe look at once we get to conference tournament time because it's just a fun offense. Again, they don't turn the ball over much. They shoot the lights out from deep. I like that, especially against a Kent State here. And this is what they list as semi-home. If you go to KenPom, other places listed as like kind of home, but it's it's kind of like, hey, it's in the same town. It's just not the same arena. So sort of a home game. I've downgraded their home field advantage a little, home court advantage, what have you, but still like it at +4 here. So 4 underdogs, 4 ugly teams, and let's talk some professional basketball. Game of runs, guys.
That is a big slate tonight in the NBA, but just a mess in terms of what's actually out there and in terms of injuries, rest spots, a lot of question marks. I have 3 picks on the slate tonight, a handful of other games. The Bucks-Cavs game is going to be great. Get a chance, try to watch that. That game should be a lot of fun. The rest of the games that I didn't necessarily have an angle on, you've got the Bulls at a back-to-back against a beat-up Hawks team at home. The Warriors missing Steph Curry and who knows else on the second end of a back-to-back in Brooklyn. The Celtics really struggling. Might end up with a Pacers play. I've been eyeing the Pacers plus 10 all day, but we're going to see what happens there. Knicks on a back-to-back hosting a beat-up Raptors team. We've got the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. That game will be fun. But again, the Timberwolves have been really messy. Sorry, Andy. The Minnesota team hasn't been that great this year. Our Orlando Magic play against the Houston Rockets. My numbers did like the Rockets, but I can't go against the Magic, especially after the Rockets just got smoked by the Spurs. And then might have a Lakers ticket. We'll see what happens with the injury report there. If Sabonis is out, as much as I can't believe I'm saying this, I will be betting the Lakers. But 3 bets that I have already put in here, a couple team totals and 1 underdog. We'll start with the Detroit Pistons. They visit my Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers have been great against some of these really bad teams, especially teams with low offensive efficiency. Again, no Cade Cunningham for the rest of the year for Detroit, really struggling with guard, basically playing a third-string point guards the entire game, if really any point guards at all. Jaden Ivey still is fun. Saddiq Bey is not bad, especially back kind of in his hometown. But the Sixers generally beat these teams pretty comfortably and clamp down offensively. I had this closer to 102. If you want to lay the 11.5 points at the Sixers, that'll probably be a little bit sweatier, I think. So give me just the team total here. Pistons under 105.5. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the team that they play tonight. Why can't I see this? It just disappeared off the board. I wonder what happened there. I can't remember. The Thunder, that's right, the Trailblazers. The Thunder host the Trailblazers for the second night in a row. That might just be a Bovada thing. The number came off the board again. Should still be +4 here. That number closed 4.5 last time. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander came back, had a great game. Expect him to play tonight. Again, had this closer to 1 or 2 points. Not sure really why the market didn't adjust too much. Again, it's just one game, so maybe it's a little bit slow there. But you look at that game, the Thunder went it outright shooting worse than the Portland Trailblazers. Turnovers were fairly close. They didn't offensive rebound necessarily any better. Had more free throws, but overall it's kind of a funky game, and the Thunder were still able to work their way through it. So I think we have some positive regression anyway from a shooting perspective, and the Trailblazers, this will be the last game of their road trip. So like the Thunder tonight, +4, and then a Hornets team total under 109. Yes, LaMelo Ball is back. Yes, Gordon Hayward is back, but Terry Rozier is doubtful, and he has really driven a lot of the points and efficiency for this Hornets team all season. Again, still trying to work LaMelo back. Gordon Hayward looks like a shell of himself at this point, and the Clippers have been fantastic defensively. Again, pretty similar to this Pistons handicap, where we've got a Clippers team who at home has done a great job against some of these lesser teams. Again, have all the defensive pieces you need, even if Paul George doesn't play tonight, to clamp down on these guys and really slow them down. So at this closer to 105, so happy to play 109, 108, anything kind of in that territory under. So 2 team total unders and an underdog.
Is there anything starting early? Is there anything to do?
There's apparently college basketball all day.
All right, so James Madison Coppin State is like now. I don't think any of the games I bet are early. Again, I don't really look at the time. Yeah, there's a bunch of college basketball early. Well, I wish I had a bet one of these early games. Maybe I'll find some. All right, UMass, my Boston game is at 4 Eastern. Kind of early, 3 p.m. for me, so maybe something to watch.
We'll find a lunchtime bet here.
Yeah, this just pisses me off we don't have.
Who is Liberty playing? What is MACHR?
Oh, Mid-Atlantic Christian. That's not something that's going to have a line for it.
They don't even have a link on ESPN.
No.
Like the team. I can't click on the team.
Yeah, we're still in that spot where teams are playing some Division II teams before they get into conference play, which it's silly because you can't even bet on those. They're not putting up most of those. You're not seeing lines for.
What about Valpo, Stonehill, Davidson, Northeastern, St.
So
Thomas, and North Dakota State? These all seem right up your alley.
People might think Stonehill. Oh, that's a division. Nope, that's one of the new ones. Queens, Stonehill, a couple other ones. There were a few new. Every year we have a couple new additions. Stonehill is a Division I college basketball team. They're along with Queens, and I think there are 4 new ones this year. I'm gonna have to go double check that. I just know I have to fix things in spreadsheets because VLOOKUP can't find these teams that didn't exist last year. But they're yes. Look at Link Calhoun actually came in and found his Cal hat. God bless his heart. The Carabao Cup starts. The Carabao Cup can suck it, though. I've never had luck with that. Turkish Super League returns Christmas Eve. obviously Boxing Day, EPL Boxing Day, Christmas Day, NBA. It should be a hell of a weekend, but we'll get there eventually. We'll get there, guys. And I do have some NFL I wanted to talk about a little, just because this one really hit me. This one really hit me hard this week, and I like this one quite a bit. We have a super, super low total in the Mistake by the Lake. And I like the Saints anyway. I did take some Saints +3 when it was like plus 105. I know that's been bet down. It is 2.5 most places, but kind of in the same, in the same spirit of the Saints bet. Now that it's down into that long zone, and we have I don't know, a preseason total essentially
32 and a
sitting on
half.
this game. It's 32.5 at a lot of places. A total that low, getting to tease into that is just lovely. So Saints +8.5, and then 49ers. And I know we're still in Brock Purdy territory, but getting them at 7.5 most places, getting to tease that down against the Commanders, who I know a lot of talk about the Commanders getting screwed by the refs, but also they're just not that good. Like, they probably shouldn't have been favored by that much ever over a division opponent. So that's probably the right result. Even maybe Commanders winning by 1 or 2, I could have stomached, but they're not that good, guys. Tough travel spot, little bit of a shortish week, having to head to the East Coast. From the East Coast to the West Coast to take on a very good Niners team with a bunch of dynamic weapons. So Niners -1.5, Saints +8.5, a teaser that I love this week. So I'm going to play that. If you want to catch some more NFL content, obviously tonight on the deep dive, we'll go through all the games, talk about what we've bet, what we might bet, and probably get pretty deep into that Eagles-Cowboys market. Kind of let you know where we think that's headed.
It's been fun, man.
It's
So
been fun.
what ends of that do you have?
I'm waiting to add Eagles. I have some Cowboys -2.5, some Cowboys -3, +100. Took a couple shots, basically saying I'm going to come back on the Eagles. And I mentioned this yesterday. I feel very strongly, based on the sources that it's come from, that Jalen Hurts does not play. It's all subterfuge and gamesmanship, which I do
People
not
were worried
blame.
after the Herbert thing. And wasn't there another quarterback who wasn't going to play, and then played? I can't remember. I know Herbert.
Yeah, no, it was Herbert, but I mean, it's a division opponent. It's your main rival right now for the playoff push. So messing with the Cowboys feels great. It feels really great. Like that is what you should be doing. You don't give them all week to prep for Gardner Minshew. You make them wonder, but Jalen Hurts is not playing. So expecting that to get bounced back closer to 6, and then obviously once it gets up there, it's going to get Eagles plus money, Eagles +6 will just get gobbled back up. So it should be a fun yo-yo back and forth market. We'll get into that tonight. It'll be interesting to see once limits end up getting a little higher today and tomorrow, where that market continues to go.
There's some people with some nice middles out there. I wonder how bad the books are feeling at this point. You have to think there's a bunch of people that have, like you said, you've got, Cowboys, you could have -1, 2, 2.5. And then if you get Eagles, even +5, right? Even if you miss the +6, I mean, that is huge, that section of points you've got.
If I could get an Eagles +6, I would be pretty happy with a nice little middle. That's all I want for Christmas, is to hit a middle, guys. So yeah, I'm I don't think this is similar to the situations we're seeing with, we saw with Josh Allen, we saw with Justin Herbert. This is
the Eagles don't need to win this game, right? Like, the only game
they
should be focusing on is next week against the Saints, so they get a better draft pick.
Yeah, they essentially just need to win one game here. And Cal's asking about the NFL MVP market. It did chill out a little. I understand that. That was another bet I made. It's like, oh, Mahomes, someone's still hanging Mahomes at like +160. And I'm like, well, I'm going to bet that now. I'm going to add some more Mahomes to my portfolio, which is fine. But the fact that he got up to like -300, some places felt a little dicey. So Drew and
Yeah,
I will
minus
get into
350
that.
on the show yesterday.
Titch tonight. So we'll get into kind of our thoughts on how the last 3 weeks go in that market. So, and you can check that out on the same channel that we're on right now on YouTube. Obviously, we're going to be here tomorrow on the same channel. Check it out, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you like Cal, if you like Link Calhoun, hit the thumbs up.
And you
We'll
do.
know. Yeah, then we'll know how popular he is based on the thumbs up, guys. So don't hurt his feelings. It's Christmas. We'll see you tomorrow, huh?